Everyone, it's Zach with Palantir Research. Palantir reveals a new demo of the most complex supply chain issue of all of mankind, but more info on Palantir's European competitor on the intelligence side reveals their strategy for European markets, as well as the NHS bringing more headaches, or is this just a blip for Palantir? Now, news-wise, Palantir released their demo to help with visualizing how their product can be used for Santa's problem. So I hope you didn't feel clickbaited, but honestly, this is brilliant for this holiday time of the year, of course for fun and games, but in reality, this is a supply chain issue that literally affects everyone across so many industries and countries around the world. Now, the complexity might be just as hard in the real world, but I'm glad they had a little entertainment with an easy way to see how this is so applicable to the real world, tying in weather, different countries, the customers or delivery locations, or the kids in this case, with the right gifts or items getting supplied or delivered over. And it's not complex if you think of it that way. They showed how the prompt gives what the user is asking for and the parameters, so the more demos like this, even if a boring business case or entertaining like this one, I think this is effective for getting those eyeballs to at least think about talking about Palantir as an enterprise. And we get a small little tweet here from Shram Sanker saying he just saw the work himself up close, and this is in reference to the demining operations happening out in Ukraine. There was an AIP demonstration a while back here of their current usage with demining and planning around certain areas like schools and other crucial civilian locations. And although we don't get the specifics, it's nice to see management is getting up and close and ensuring their products are living up to the value that they're trying to sell, especially when the stakes are high. Now, out in Europe, we already know Palantir will be losing their French intelligence business out to ChapVision, but surprisingly, the sentiments of Europe being a tough sell is still holding as well for ChapVision themselves. So the CEO, Oliver Dellenbach, revealed that their strategy of appealing to European interests and sovereignty and has to let them work well in France, of course, being a French company. But he has his doubts on, say, being a French company and selling their product to the Germans, but rather buying up German companies and setting up themselves a footprint there to make the headways there instead of showing up as a French company. Now, the success of this strategy is yet to be seen because at this point, does the bought up company become a French company, or maybe there'll be some structure to keep it domestic and keep those incentives at play and also make their government customers feeling secure? This has yet to be executed, but good luck to them to see if this will make any headway. Now, while also talking about Europe, there's protests happening outside of Palantir's London office from NHS workers. Now, the motivations are kind of mixed here and unclear, with being because of Palantir showing support for Israel and the fight against Hamas, or maybe they think it's a spy company that's in their system. Both, of course, are ill-informed, obviously, but I'll let you be the judge of if these workers' protests make any sense in their reasoning. But if it's like any Middle East issue by Western protesters, it'll just disappear, or they'll focus on the next hot button issue that doesn't affect their daily lives. Plus, it's still unconfirmed on the scale of this. These are just my own personal views here, and more to see if anything happens. Now, on the other spectrum of the NHS Federated Data Platform, we've got an article by Stephen Childs giving his perspective on the FDP. And for Palantir, there are three big points he wanted folks to understand, especially out in the UK. So he shows first that Optica, on top of Foundry, which it was built, allowed them to achieve a 36% reduction, and that's in the average number of delay days of patient stays of 21 days or more. This has been referenced before, as well as with the IECCP. It's live with 36 trusts now, with 24 already seeing benefits, with one of the stats being 13.3% of patients on waiting lists have been flagged at least for investigation and then potential removal, along with increasing their operating theater utilization by 6.3%. And then he goes on to defend their partnership with Palantir, pointing out the obvious to us, but needs to be repeated for the public, or at least for these organizations that rather have a sicker population. Palantir actually has more people working in their London office than in Denver and California combined, which is where Palantir started out in Cali and then moved to Denver for their current headquarters. So this basically means that you're trying to protest the people who are trying to fix the NHS that has served them as well. Now, second, Palantir is a software company. No data broker controlling or selling your data. That's not how they make money. There's no motivation for them to do that. This has been beat to death, but clearly still needs to be said with those protesters and those taking the opportunity of attempting to look informed, but actually spewing misinformation on Palantir and the FDP, which has been clearly defined at this point. And third, Palantir works with leading healthcare institutions, and there's a reason I like their partnership with Cleveland Clinic, and he puts them here first. They are literally a world-leading healthcare system on the edge of technology, and if they so happen to be US-based despite how we do the billing and paying here, it's because our country hosts the edge of healthcare technology and operations in the world. So it's a no-brainer. So if you want a healthier and smooth-running health operation, you'll adopt those world-leading technologies. However, that's all for today, and I'll see you in the next video.